listening audience, welcome again to another Toonkind D&D game. I am Whirl, your DM for the day, and I am joined today by two wonderful, lovely, talented, amazing players. Wonderful, lovely, talented, amazing players who I love deeply. Please introduce yourselves.
That's
Yes.
terrifying intro.
Hi.
Lewis, please go first.
Hi, hello. I'm Lewis. I'm the server's bastard, who's apparently very much loved, and I am glad. Anyway, I'm playing Tobias.
You are like the
Nothing to
opposite.
say, it's just vibing.
You're the opposite of the service bastard. You're the baby. We love you.
What? No!
You are baby. Diagnosed
baby.
baby.
I'm not.
Server baby.
I can't believe this.
Server baby.
I am saying that Whirl is the youngest here, I'm not the baby.
Hey, I am 17. That is almost an adult.
Being baby is nothing about age. You are definitely baby.
No.
Sorry, I'm definitely the troublemaking uncle of the server, and I defy anybody to deny that. I am called Modmad, or Mod, most commonly, and I am playing the engineer. Hooray!
Yay! Okay.
Oh boy.
Right. How did I want to start this off? Oh yeah, I should probably check my notes. I'm sorry.
You're the DM! We don't know how you meant this plan.
Everything is fine.
I am a scatterbrained mess this morning. I woke up like 3 hours ago.
Aww.
Oh, this is fine.
I am not fully functional yet, but I'm gonna do my best.
It's fine. We're just here to have a good time.
We're gonna have a good time, on God. Okay, so this is picking up after the epilogue of the yet-to-be re-recorded Coup de Blues Part 2, where we found Tobias introducing the engineer, who is his dad, and we cannot argue. I
mean, at this point it's canonical, because I think Tobias did actually call him dad in that game, if I recall correctly.
He did call him dad.
Yes.
He did call him dad.
Yes.
Still in denial.
Get out of denial! I will beat you over the head with a stick.
No!
Except that you are loved.
Maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about that during the game. It's fine.
Maybe. So we're picking up right from there, because Tobias, you were introducing the engineer to a little something special that you found on one of your adventures. Do you mind telling us about that?
Yeah, basically it was at the end of Color Studies that they met Hope for the first time, and the whole Evershore games were literally based on finding Hope's creator, which revealed not only that, like it revealed a bunch of stuff, such as shit Kyle did, and the fact that Tobias is apparently all feather fairy. So that's something. But anyway, we're here for Hope. So yeah, we learned that Hope was made by Nobel Prize, and that the Star Trio are going to be the operators, and that Nobel has decided that she doesn't want to be on the project anymore because too many bad memories and other stuff. And so we need a new maintainer. And Tobias had the brilliant idea to ask the engineer to be it.
The engineer doesn't know this yet, right? I mean, like, you just showed him the machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe Tobias asked him about being the maintainer, but we didn't talk about it much. I don't remember. Anyway.
I can't remember, no. If he asked, he would definitely say
we're
yes.
Gonna record it anyway.
Yeah.
We're gonna record it anyway, so.
Yeah.
Time travel.
That's the fun thing about games. We can just say that, oh yeah, we can retcon that in. So, you guys are in the clubhouse, and, you are standing in front of this thing. I have to find her old reference now because she's got a new one, and that one's not active yet. Hopefully it will be in this game, but those spoilers. Where did I put it?
Eyes emoji.
Where did I put it? Help!
That's an art drawing too many files mood right there.
Good.
I have got so many subfolders for Toonkind now. It's actually insane.
I have one and I will live with that horrible, horrible lifestyle.
Oh, here it comes. Ah, it's so pretty!
Yeah.
So you are standing
love
in
Hope
front of
so
this
much.
thing. She's very pretty. I'm very
She's
proud
gorgeous.
of her design.
You
She's
should be
baby.
proud. It's an amazing thing.
And let's see. All right, the interest is okay. So what we need to do right now is establish what y'all are doing here, because there is sort of a goal to this. You aren't just here to meet the machine, although she is very pretty and very pleased to meet you, or she will be once she actually gets to, because neither of you have made contact yet. Actually, she already knows Toby, but
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. But you guys are here to try and figure out how to move her from the clubhouse into Dodo Studios. So,
Yeah.
because that's a big thing. And we have a not so strong person in this duo.
Well, the engine is strong, but not that strong. Have you ever seen a pipe organ? Like, that's a big ass machine.
yeah, she's heavy.
Can I ask, where is the clubhouse, like, in relation to Dodo Studios at the moment?
So
Probably-
technically it's in a pocket dimension, so everything is fine.
So probably it's in Dodo Studios, or at the very least the door is.
Yeah, because I mean, I was supposing that Tobias would have the sense to demonstrate this really, really amazing, like, portal thing. Like, the engineer has to get past that first, and then, oh my god, there's this gorgeous machine inside. But yeah, if we're in Dodo Studios, that will make some things easier. Not everything, but some things.
It will make certain portions of the job easier. So, having done my job and established the introduction, what are you guys up to right now? Like, what is your first reaction to this scene? Engie, Tobias, what are you thinking of doing? Etc., etc. Hit me. Let's get this ball rolling.
Well, we might as well pick up where we
It's
were.
mostly.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be mostly Angie's reaction to this, because Tobias is just introducing them to each other.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it, because I do distinctly remember saying, "What's your name?" And she's, like, just beautiful, and he's gone over to look at this machine, having asked what its name is.
I do have an important question. Does the engineer touch the machine?
I want to wait till Tobias has, like, introduced her before we get too much into that, because like, that will be a whole road.
That will be a fun little trip.
It's just a polite thing to do, not touch her until you know her.
Yeah, he doesn't know what it does either, so like he actually doesn't want to touch it too much until, like, yeah, he has at least the basics of understanding it.
Okay, well, before I give Lewis a chance to respond, I will say the minute you asked her name, there was already like a soft humming sound coming from her, and it gets a little louder and a little higher pitched, and she sounds very happy because she likes it when people acknowledge that she's a person and has a name.
His ears are, like, so happy. Like, if you've seen a happy horse, the ears are in the forward upright position. He is walking around it, like, you know, just admiring it from every single angle.
Horse dad.
Horse dad.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so Thomas is giving him some time to look it up before talking. And I don't know if you can hear her, But her name is Hope.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that definitely suits you, doesn't it, darling? And he is having a look in one of the funnels, and he says, "Is it some sort of musical instrument? What is this?"
It is a musical instrument. It's a mix of multiples, actually.
You're gonna have to give me
There's
more than that. A mix of multiples.
I am. I don't remember some of the names, but like she's a pipe organ and also a piano, as you can see. I
Mhm.
think on the right it's a MIDI fighter, if I remember the name. I am not sure about Primrose's side though.
I mean, he's just looking at it and yeah, trying to get to grips with the parts of it he can understand. Because the thing is, the engineer, unlike DJ Moves, is not a musician. Like he can sing a bit, but he can't play any instruments.
Well, thankfully he's not the one who's going to play Hope.
Well, I mean, are you gonna tell him? Like he has no context for this machine. This is the first time. Like I know about Hope, but you gotta tell me.
I'm not sure what to say. Tobias is mostly watching him do his thing and waiting for questions because, yeah, he doesn't know really what to say. He's like, oh, I introduced them together. What now?
So you're telling me it's a sort of musical instrument? So I mean, we have musical instruments, but this one looks pretty spectacular. What does it sound like? Can you demonstrate?
Uh, well, they're once again, Primrose and Mercel aren't here, but I can do my part if you want. And
Wait, you
he
you
goes
need.
to the piano.
Oh, I see. You need three people to make it work properly.
Exactly. That's so basically we're Nobel called us the operators, which makes sense.
Hold on a moment. Isn't
And
Marcel the chap who works in the kitchens?
yes,
I didn't even know he could play. That's good.
he can play the piano really well. I know that because I saw him.
Tucking that away.
Thomas turns pink when he says that.
He's tucking that information away in the corner of his brain in case he needs a piano player in one of his movies.
Um, we Nobel thought we will be good operators for all because we already have a strong relationship between us.
Hang on. Rewind a second. Nobel? Did Nobel make this? Oh, she is. I assume
Yeah,
he's she.
yes. Yes, Nobel Prize. She's the creator of Hope. She was the maintainer, but she decided to leave the project for personal reasons.
He shrugs and does that sort of understanding side nod, like he's had projects that he's had to abandon for personal reasons, but it's always a reluctant
Tobias, can you do me a
thing.
favor?
But he
Oh,
does
sorry,
look.
go ahead.
Hmm?
I was gonna ask if Tobias could roll me insight, but Maud, finish what you were saying. I'm sorry.
No, actually, if Tobias rolls insight, then I can
Oh
say
god.
if he notices how the
I was gonna
engineer's
ask
feeling
him
about this.
to. Okay, he doesn't
Nope.
notice.
Yeah. You don't get a read on quite what's happening with the engineer, but for the sake of the audience, I will say he's now a little bit he looks a bit disappointed because if the creator doesn't want to be involved in this project, he's lost a vital piece of information. Like talking to the person who made this would be very helpful if he's going to maintain it.
Well, you do have a way to do that, but that's neither here nor there. Tobias, you do have advantage because I was actually asking you to roll insight on Hope because you said the word abandoned.
Ooh.
Oh no. Do I roll insight again? No.
Yeah,
Oh, bad.
Okay.
you have advantage on it because you've got. Uh,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
okay,
better.
Okay, that's better.
17.
yeah. So, Tobias, you remember how in Harmony I mentioned that there's light that shines up between the piano keys, and it's started to change colors in a similar way to your own color palette?
Mm-hmm.
It
Also,
turned,
I'm saying that Tobias is touching her right now.
yeah, uh, you just feel a wave of sadness wash over you and a little bit of bitterness and anger as the
Aw.
light from between the piano keys turns dark blue with a bit of red in it, and Hope is upset. You heard Nobel
Mm.
mention that, yeah, Hope doesn't trust her anymore. You didn't know it was this bad.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
I mean, does this
Tobias kind
colorway
of
go on?
pats her on the side of the panel.
Oh, I think with that and like, has Tobias changed color at all to match this, or like, do I get any sort of visual clue?
I mean, you would be able to see the light
Mm,
between the piano keys, but
Yeah, but I don't know
yeah,
that
I think
that's.
Tobias. I think Tobias kind of changed colors too.
Hmm.
Probably to a light lavender.
Okay, I'm gonna make an insight roll and see if Angie has any idea. Oh, well, that's a 23.
Oh.
I think because you're touching the machine and he just loves this machine already, like he likes the smell of it. Like this thing is beautiful, even if Nobel doesn't want anything to do with it now. This is one of the most remarkable things he's ever seen. And he's got a goddamn gigantic ego. So like even just thinking that is that's something. But with the 23, he also knows Tobias's color chart very well at this point and is looking between the keys and the pipes and Tobias's face. Is everything all right with you two?
I think she's still a bit bitter about the whole situation.
Aye, that would be understandable. And at this point, the engineer is also going to sympathetically pat Hope.
right.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna need you to make me a wisdom save.
Oh boy, I had a feeling it was going to be something like that. Aye, aye, aye. Me and my big fat +1.
Okay, that's a 10. It's not a high DC because she's not actively trying to hurt you, but you do get a sense of feelings that aren't your own because you pat her and she is surprised, and you feel that surprise.
All his feathers go. It looks like he's had a static shock. You know, it's like woof.
Oh my god. Are you right, sir?
I'm fine. Hello. And he just said hello to Hope.
Does he still have a hand on her?
Oh yeah, he's not taking it off.
Then there is sort of a sensation of welcoming and greeting.
I like you.
Aww.
I really like you.
uh, the light between the keys, and also some of the light that's shining in the circles around the buttons on the MIDI fighter portion turn bright yellow.
You're a
Aww.
sparkly individual, Tobias. Why did you not introduce us sooner? This is one of the nicest creations I have ever met. When I mean, it's great that you've got this wee room that you can move around with you. But what's the intent here? What are we? What do you want me to do with Hope?
Oh yeah, because you still
Well,
haven't told him what she
Nobel?
does.
Yeah.
He thinks it's a
No.
musical machine. That's all you've told him so far.
I know.
Tobias,
I
it might be
know.
time for a bit of a demonstration.
Uh-huh.
Uh, well, I could show you if you want.
I would. I definitely would. And he's going to stand back and let Tobias do his thing.
Okay, well, Tobias is gonna start playing the piano then.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll for that because performances with
Oh boy,
Hope
what
are
do I
auto
roll?
success. No, you don't have to roll for it. That's what I just said.
Ah. Oh,
Um,
I didn't hear.
yeah, sorry, my mic is finicky about what it picks up. It can hear me screaming into a pillow from 10 miles away, but can't. Can
Uh,
hear me sitting right here. So as Tobias is playing this piano, it just sounds like piano music at first, but then the stuff in the fuel tanks starts to glow, and um, clouds start to drift out of the different pipes, and some of them smell like rain, and there's a bit of a breeze in the room now, and it smells like right before a springtime rainstorm.
he is just not kind of he's not slack-jawed, but like there's a gap. Like he has this smile, and it is glowing. It is a neon turquoise smile that is just amazed. He loves this thing. He already did, but it can make weather. I don't know if
orange right now.
like I mean, he's just going to wait till you stop performing. He's not going to interrupt.
He does it for a little while just so Angie can get a good look at it before stopping. And yeah, she's a weather machine.
She's a miracle.
She is.
You're a miracle.
That's...
And he's talking directly to Hope again, but he's also like talking to Tobias. Actually, I think he does the face smush. I think Tobias, you've got your your cheeks between these big warm paws, and he is face to face with you, like saying, "I don't know if you know what a gift this is to a movie director. Have you any idea how many of my films were almost completely destroyed by being put off schedule by bad weather? This is amazing."
Well, that's why I wanted to present her to you. But also, I just gotta warn you, we do need all three of us so that she can actively change the weather fully.
Oh, I see. That's no easy task, but the concept alone, this. I wish I could meet Nobel. This is something else.
Tobias is like bright yellow, maybe almost gold. He's just very happy about all of it.
Aww.
The engineer was looking at like the fuel tanks when it was active, and yeah, he's on his hands and knees having a real good look at that. It's like he's on the floor now, sort of going around the underneath and the back and the sides. Like he's trying to get every single angle on this thing to try and understand it.
You don't quite. Well, actually, roll the intelligence. I know.
Oh boy, I have a nothing in intelligence. A 17
though.
Yay!
Just like machines.
Yeah, you can tell that this is fuel, because you're not really versed in the magical arts. You can't really tell what kind of magic it is, but you can tell it's magic.
Yeah.
You can tell it's very magic. And it's kind of weird, because, like, it has a texture that's somewhere between water and Jell-O.
Wow. That's amazing to think about.
And it looks like Ghibli water, if we're being honest. Like,
oh, yeah, he's been there.
Like, it's kind of turquoise and glowy, and there are, like, little beams of light that almost look like sparks of flame drifting through it, but they're weak. With a 17, you can tell that, yeah, this is fuel and it should be good for a while, but it is nowhere near as strong as it should be. Because you know machines, and maybe, I don't know, that helps you get some insight on this, but it's almost like the fuel is tired.
I think he actually basically relates that to Tobias, and he sniffs at it. He's gone more feral than you've ever seen him before around this machine. Like he is very animalistic. Like the whole two-legged standing upright with his arms behind his back is a very, that's his usual disposition. Around this thing, nah. He is just so excited and submitting himself wholly to his own curiosity. And so yeah, he's having a look at this fuel, and he says, do you know what Nobel is fueling this machine off of? Because it needs replacing from the look of it.
Tobias, roll history.
That's a good question. Yeah, I
Does she
don't remember if you told me about that actually. Give me a
I
second.
didn't tell you in Harmony, but I do think that Nobel would have told him at some point during his lessons. That's a
He has
9.
not been listening.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You got like vague memories of it being something to do with like there's a base and you put how did she put it? It was like a piece of yourself into it and the current fuel
His
is
brain has
mostly
blacked
her.
out.
And yeah, you've got like vague memories of it's a base and you put a piece of yourself in it, and the current fuel is pretty much all Nobel because Kyle was an asshole. But that's all you got.
I think that's what Tobias says to the engineer. He kind of says all the fuzzy memory he has about what Novel told him, but she used such complicated words and he's not used to that.
The engineer sort of sits on the floor, like looking at him while he's saying this. And you know, after you've said you have to put a piece of yourself in, he just very directly pulls a feather out of his own tail and like holds it up, like, "You mean like this?" Or
I have no idea, sir.
I mean, what are we talking about? Are we talking about spiritual? Are we talking about physical? He's not saying the word magical. He knows that's an option, but he's not saying that.
I don't know, but knowing Novel, it might have to do with magic. I told him maybe there is something in their notebooks about that.
Roll insight.
Okay.
Okay, 14. You know him well enough. You know him well enough. You see a distinct sort of like, almost like a wince at the fact that it is probably magical. He looks now like he's been so happy and enthusiastic. He now looks quite reluctant in contrast.
Oh no.
Because you have made contact with her enough for her, and you are in close enough proximity that she can do this, I'm going to say, Engie, Hope gives you, like, a little sensation of concern and also comfort. Like, you okay?
He just
Aww.
automatically pats her on whatever pillar that he's nearest. I think he's on the floor next to one of the fuel tanks, and you know, sort of gives her a, "Yeah, I'm okay."
Are you
but
sure you look you don't look okay?
Me and magic is a wee bit complicated. How about we do something that I might actually have a shot at being able to do, and let's solve the problem of where we want Hope to be. Because, I mean, we can leave her in this room if you want to. I mean, you can put it wherever you like, but I don't know how strong the magic is, whether... I mean, if we end up just making weather in this room, I don't believe that would do many people much good.
I do think it will be better if we moved her into the studio, yes.
All right. And yeah, that's going to be a whole other thinking problem because this is a big machine.
I will
This is a
tell
big
you
machine.
something. Tobias already mentioned it. You don't
Oh.
have the creator
The
with
notebooks.
you, but you do have her notes.
Yeah, Novel left them with Tobias, and he's
Oh.
very thankful for that.
Okay, in that case, the engineer would politely request to have a look at them, please.
Tobias immediately goes search them.
Are they still
Okay.
on the same
And
bookcase
he
they
just
were in when you
trots
first got the room?
He actually rearranged a bit around, and he rearranged the books in a bookshelf near Hope, so it's
Aw.
easy to get them.
Aw. That's sensible. Okay, he's gonna have a look at the notes because what he would normally do, well, I might as well say this out loud. What I would normally do with a machine as large as this, if I knew it well enough, was to take it apart and move it piece by piece. But this is such a complicated individual. I don't know if I want to risk it. Let's have a look at these plans, though.
Tobias, when when NG mentions disassembly, by the way, because you are the one who has the constant open connection with Hope, you get a little bit of fear from her, because, no, she doesn't want to be disassembled.
Does Angie get a read on that?
I mean, roll insight. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't.
No, I don't know. He may be facing away at this point anyway. Oh, 24.
He gets a read on it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, he doesn't even turn around. He waves a hand and says, I thought that wouldn't be the best for you. It's alright. That option's out the window. You don't have to worry, Hope.
And there's definitely
I'm
a
sure
feeling of relief.
thought of something.
Okay, so you guys have the notebooks. They're these old leather-bound notebooks. All of them have the same weird symbol on them, by the way. It's like a pair of fairy wings encircled by a ring of fire. It's very odd.
Nice though.
Yeah, it's very pretty, and there's actually Angie, you were up close with Hope enough to like notice these. There are actually like repeating motifs of this symbol on her design.
He appreciates a motif in good cohesive design. Like he is not exaggerating. He loves this machine from top to bottom, inside out already. Even though he doesn't wholly understand it, he understands a good machine when he meets one. And this is a very good machine. I mean, we're looking through these notes. Is there anything that implies that there's a way to help move it? Does it have caster wheels? I don't know.
Well, okay. You're looking through these notes, you look through a couple of the different notebooks, and eventually you find what looks like a diagram that shows Hope being normal-sized, and then there's a little arrow next to it, and then it shows her smaller and carried between two people. And there are notes on the page, which you can assume are how to do it, but here's the problem. The notes look like this.
I am fearful. If they're
I
anything
do know
like
what they
Angie's
look like.
handwriting. Oh, good. What is this? Actually, no, forget that. I just said that out loud as Angie. Oh, fucking, what is that?
Tobias takes one look and you hear him say, Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Who is Jesus? Anyway, I thought that was only in my dreams. But no, apparently it's a real memory. She actually writes like that.
I thought my handwriting was bad. This is dire Hope. Your honor, my word. Okay. Do I have to like roll intelligence to decipher this?
Let me check.
It is time for the writing puzzle, folks.
Do you start reading at the top or the bottom or sideways? What is this? Is this even English?
I have no idea.
Whatever English is common to me.
I don't know how to read that.
Okay, investigation. Right. You're going to need to roll me. You're going to need to roll me either investigation, intelligence, or insight.
I'm gonna go with insight. It's the only one I have a plus in that you listed.
You can both roll
Fun
this.
fact, Tobias
That's not too
has
terrible.
proficiency in investigation.
Okay, you got a 17. Tobias, what'd you get?
Oh! That's a nat 20, everybody.
Well, Toby, apparently you remember something, and Angie, you kind of get a sense for it too. Because it's really not that hard to read if you know how to look at it. See, you know that thing where with toon writing, if you hold it far away, it just looks like loop-de-loop scribbles?
Oh, that's clever.
The writing...
You are a clever person.
The writing is written in loop-de-loops, with each individual word being separated out into a loop. And Tobias, you remember that those weird chicken scratches on the page are not actually chicken scratch. They are a particular way to read music. Okay, this is a bit of a digression on the DM's part, but have any of y'all ever done that thing where you get really, really pecking bored in math class? So you pull out a piece of paper and you start scratching the pencil on it, and you realize that the pencil makes different sounds the way you scratch it. So you start scratching out your favorite song on the paper. It's like that.
To move the machine, you put her into stasis mode, then play this. I think I can make that match out.
That is indeed what it says.
Angie's way smarter than Tobias.
I'm struggling with the next bit. I will be honest. I got code, and then I'm like, what the hell is that?
That's
Tobias
disengages.
as a brain.
Oh my god. Okay.
Tobias has a brain that functions. I think he may have ADHD because he cannot concentrate on this long enough.
Yeah.
I will admit, this is going to take a while if we do it live. You may need to translate for us. It's such a clever theory. In fact, he says, I used to know someone who wrote like this called Jeremy Beremy, but I haven't seen anything like it since.
Yeah. I'll just translate it for you because I'm not going to ask you to read all of this.
Thank you, world. I love you.
The notes read, Maintenance Notes Part 17. To move the machine, play this to put her into stasis mode. Then play this. This code disengages the positional lock. After the lock has been disengaged, you'll need to play the
rendition? Redaction.
No. Oh, I used the wrong word there. It's supposed to be reduction.
Oh. No, yeah, you have. I just misinterpreted the U as an A. It is reduction code.
Yeah, the reduction code. Play, and then you have the code for that, which is music. This will shrink her to about the size of a suitcase. You'll need two people
to move her.
Once you have her in position, play the codes again to put her back to normal. Play in this order, which is the reverse order of the first songs.
You know it's a good code because the DM was struggling on some of them. That's really good, though. I love the concept of this.
Once you understand how to read it, it's pretty easy. But when you don't, oh god.
Yeah.
If I had eyes, they would be crossed right now. I'm just saying that.
I'm just glad that I didn't have to use the failsafe. The failsafe was you guys fail intelligence and whatnot so many times that you get a headache. And the room starts spinning, and that's how you realize, oh, it's loop-de-loops.
That's smart.
Oh my god.
Good one. Nice failsafe. I like it.
But yeah, you have read this, and you now know the codes. The first one is a couple notes from Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. The second one is Jolly Sailor Bold, and the third one is Once Upon a December.
Oh, nice.
Oh. I love that. I love that very much.
So congratulations, you now know how to move her. Where are you going to move her to?
That's a very good question. He pretends to have heard Tobias ask him.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, he's just thinking about it. Well, if we're keeping her inside the studio, ground floor has got plenty of room and it's certainly easy to move her around. We've got plenty of dollies and such that we can use. We've got the main shaft lift, which we can use to take her up some floors. If it only takes two of us to carry it, the thing is we can put her more or less anywhere. I want to keep her safe though.
Maybe we could put her near Willow. At least they will have company together.
You are a genius. I mean, like that's a great place to put her because if they want to take her out to location, or indeed to locations that need her, because you know, as much as his director brain is like, oh, I can have any weather I want for my movies, he's also kind of like, this would be very useful to save lives.
Yeah.
Does he say anything like that out loud?
No, he doesn't.
Ah, damn.
He thinks it though. I mean, like, does Hope want to make an insight check?
Yeah, hang on. Let me pull up her sheet. She has one. She's not going to be able to use it yet, but she has one. Or actually, I have stats for her
Oh.
for machine mode as well. I just haven't written them out yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a +3.
Okay,
15.
15. I mean, I think that Hope basically does kind of get that he's not just going to use this for himself. That's what a 15 gets.
Yeah. Uh, I think because of that, and because you have already somehow managed to establish a bit more of a connection than is to be expected from somebody who hasn't actually like done anything that would be like a proper form of forming a connection, which is surprising and also probably a testament to your strength of character, but
It's the
neither here
dad
nor
vibes.
The dad vibes, they are strong.
because she really
Once
likes
again.
you and likes talking to you.
Aww.
There's a feeling of curiosity and a bit of excitement because Engie, you don't know
Aw.
this, but saving lives is what she was built to do. She was built to stop a famine. She was built
Mm.
to end a drought and stop a famine, but she was stolen before she got that chance.
Fuck
He
guy.
doesn't have that context. Does Tobias want to give it to him?
Yeah, you guys should probably talk a bit about where you got this thing. I'm just saying, I have that in the notes.
He has been asking, like, Tobias want to take the floor?
Well, I mean, right now it doesn't really think he should bring that subject up. Like, you have to say something for him to say that, because like right now you both are on the subject of moving her, so he's not thinking really about telling Angie where he got Hope.
Well, this is a
And
daily
in what
pickle.
context?
This is a shame because the engineer is. He's a son of a bitch, and when he's about talking like about noble things out loud, he actually often doesn't, and he still plays up the old grumpy engineer persona. Like he had to do that the other day to get an owl to do what he wanted because she was so shocked that he was being told to go home because she was sick. That wasn't normal engineer behavior, so he had to pretend that it was because he would get in trouble with the union or whatever. And I'm afraid he actually won't say that out loud.
I might have a hint to help you.
Mm-hmm.
A good
Yes,
idea for
please.
figuring out where to move her to might be figuring out where she was kept before, because Tobias has seen the place she was kept before.
Okay, that's true. I mean, yeah, he needs to know what conditions to keep this machine in. All right, he's just going to ask that. What kind of an environment are we supposed to keep her in? I know musical instruments, they can go wrong if you have too much atmospheric pressure or dampness. What am I looking to find here?
And he's trying to remember a bit about the diaspora, actually, because that's where she was. So, where she was before Kyle stole her, she was in a tower, like at the top of a tower. It was the only last one standing. She was in Noble's atelier. She was in, I don't know the word because I'm French, but anyway, she was in the high place.
Oh, like a tower?
Yeah, tower. So maybe it will be good to keep her high up.
Ah, that makes sense for a weather machine, eh? And he's now thinking
Oh, now that you say.
he does have a place like he thinks he can put this beautiful creation. If anyone recalls what Dodo Studio looks like, I've only drawn the front view. How annoying! But it's got like these two big barns at the front, but at the back, it does in fact have basically twin sort of blocky buildings, but there is a central unit at the back, which is underneath. It's like a big light display. I mean, in modern days, you'd say it would be to like show where the top of the building is or put out radio signals, and it just looks cool, basically. But there's a room directly underneath that.
Mm.
And it is, in fact, like over the section of the building where Willow is. So if they have to move her, like it'll be a bit of a pain, but you're at least on the right side of the building to get her down to Willow.
I'm gonna ask you both to either consult the notes again, which is an intelligence roll, or one of the other two that I mentioned, I forgot, or roll insight on Hope.
I'm just gonna keep doing insight because it's the only thing I got a plus in. 13.
I think Tobias is gonna roll investigation again.
Sorry if we're being
Yay,
completely stupid
19.
about this. I'm trying my best. A 19.
You guys are doing
Nice.
great. I didn't write out enough beforehand on how Hope is supposed to be stored. I'm gonna say you guys take another look at the notes, and you actually find a bit of see, Nobel's notes are weird because they aren't really scientific in nature. They aren't professional. It's a lot of basically her talking to herself on paper.
I mean, the engineer gets
That's
that. He
not
wasn't
enough,
formally trained. He wasn't formally trained as an engineer. He learned to be one by himself, practically.
Yeah, and there's a bit of grumping and annoyance on one of the pages about work conditions, and this really isn't the place for this. I mean, if we want to keep her used for the purpose that she's supposed to, keeping her in the tower like this isn't going to be useful. It's not it's a too central a position. She can't go that far. And it's just other stuff about how basically Nobel bitching about where her workshop was positioned. And how it's going to be hard to move her. You had the right idea with moving her to be near Willow, because in that case she would also not be lonely, and that's kind of a problem she has.
I was wanting to go in that direction, but then we went up a tower, so I was going in that direction. So now I'm like, what do you want us to do, oh great and mighty DM? Do you want us to take her to Willow? We can do that.
I was telling you to ask about.
Take her to Willow.
I was telling you about about asking where to put her, because that would have you ask how you got her. And that's probably an important thing to know.
It is. And also, at this point, because Tobias...
slapping us, talk to each other.
I know, but, Tobias, you've got to give me more information, because does the engineer even know about fucking Kyle?
Tobias did mention Kyle.
He knows about fucking Kyle, because... Yeah, he mentioned Kyle when he was talking to himself. But he never talked about Kyle to the engineer, because I told you in DMs about that actually, that he didn't want to worry the engineer more because of all the stuff that happened the last few months.
So at this point, we have to say, who the peck is Kyle?
You guys don't need to roll insight. All of the glowy parts on Hope's panels, the ones that have been changing colors in tune with Tobias's colors, turn bright fucking red. She's pissed.
Oh boy. Tobias himself actually turns not only red, but actually I think you should do perception in this.
Ah, okay. Let me just check what perception is. Yeah, that's +4 as well. All about the +4s, this guy. 23, he knows you very well.
That is very great, because you know that it can turn multiple colors at once. So he's mostly red, but if you look closely, you can see a few little spots of purple on him.
He crosses his arms and looks between the two of you, Hope and Tobias, and says, okay, so which one of you is actually going to answer my question?
I think I should be the one, even though I rather not talk about this, but I think I'm gonna have to. He just looks back at the engineer like, oh yeah, I have no choice.
Yeah, he's not leaving until you tell him everything.
So you remember all those months ago when I had to go do my annual check at the CCR?
Aye, you took an extra day, I seem to recall. Was that alright? I mean, I did ask, and you said, oh yeah, it's fine, but I think something happened. I'm not stupid, you know.
Well, I had to take an extra day because um basically there was an intruder and I kinda had to go after him with Primrose and Marcel because he had stolen my color shard. And basically we fought him and we won. And we found Noble in stuff because he had the clubhouse too. If you can roll inside if you want.
I I will, but also like just with every single pitch of emotion like appropriate to what you just said. Like the engineer isn't disguising anything. He just went on a face journey. Wow. But there's also like, why didn't you tell me this? Why didn't you tell me this? 8.
I can give you
Okay,
advantage
well,
if you like, because Hope is kind of
no,
giving
but
Tobias the mental equivalent of side-eye.
Okay.
yeah, but
10.
even so, you don't even need because it was a low DC for this because you know Tobias and you know his colors. He got a bit more purple and like he wears his emotions on his sleeve.
Yeah.
You just know that he's hiding more stuff from you.
Okay. I think to make sense of the 8 and 10 that I just rolled, which is like, he doesn't know how to encourage you to say more about it. He wants you to, but he actually doesn't know what the tactful thing to do is here.
That's understandable, but
Hmm.
anyway, yeah, his name was Kyle. He was an asshole. He did lots of bad shit, like really, really bad shit, and he actually turns back to red when he says that. And
That's interesting. The engineer hasn't seen him do that many times.
This guy has
and
activated Tobias's anger button.
Mm-hmm.
he absolutely has. And I do intend to find him one day and make him kind of pay for what he did because that was way too much. Anyway, yeah, that his name is Cal. He's rich. There's not much to say about him, and I'd rather not give him more thought than that right now.
He's taken out a little notebook and is making notes. He's had to replace it. He used to have a sketchbook where he used to log ideas and draw things for like concepts for films. He swears he had it and hasn't had it since he like came back after the going missing for 48 hours. Oh, I wonder where it is, guys. Anyway, he writes down basically what Tobias has told him, especially noting Tobias's color change, and says, I could do with a visual description. I mean, being called a bitch and an asshole is something, but I need a little bit more to go on in the visual sense.
Why do you want to know what it looks like, sir?
So that I know what he pecking looks like. What do you think? Like, I'm gonna let him walk in here? Or if I come across him? I'm not gonna go looking for him if you think that's a bad idea. I've got enough heat on my shoulders as it is. But you cannot deny that it would be foolish if I didn't know what he looked like.
You don't even need to roll for that, but you see Tobias realize that, oh yeah, actually, Kyle could come to the other studios. He hadn't thought about that.
You dingus! Oh my god!
He turns purple at this realization again, bud. But you see him turn back to his actual normal colors now. Okay, mostly wears purples, fake blonde, purple eyes, scary form sometimes, and also be mindful because he does I don't know what kind of magic was, but he basically puts people to sleep and make them have nightmares, which will be wonderful to avoid.
I should not let him anywhere near Willow. I want you, after this, he puts the notebook away and pats Tobias on the shoulder, because apparently he's been through some shit. There is a sort of weight to that pat, which implies you should have told me sooner, but it's not like mean. It's just like you should have. But he says, I want you to go to Rowan, head of security, and I want you to give an accurate description. We'll get one of the storyboarders to draw up as good of his estimation as what he looks like as we can, and I'm going to put them on red alert if he comes anywhere near this place.
Okay, I will do that, sir.
Thank you. And Hope,
He's
likewise.
back to Lavender a bit.
Yeah, he goes over to Hope and is like, I am not going to let Kyle get anywhere near you.
Roll insight again.
You can't. 18.
Yay.
Yeah, that's a high roll. Okay, how do I put this? You know that feeling when, you know that sort of moment where somebody is really, really freaked out about something, and somebody who they trust tells them that they're going to be safe and it's going to be okay, and they just sort of not fall apart, but melt a little bit?
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, Hope is a very young and emotional consciousness, so she's very easy to get a read on. She's relieved when you say this. Like, she doesn't know you very well, because you haven't properly made a connection yet. That's going to be a thing that's probably going to happen this game. She doesn't know you very well yet, but she is so relieved to have somebody actually say, no, we're not letting him anywhere fucking near you again. And I'm going to actually need you to roll me in a wisdom save, because she's going to try and help you out.
Oh boy, okay.
Aww.
An 18!
Okay,
Yay.
this comes across loud and clear. You see a memory that Tobias has actually seen, but you see it in high definition. You see the moment that Kyle came in to the workshop to steal Hope. You see him and Nobel arguing, although there's no sound. You see him and Nobel arguing, and you see this guy, this tall, real kind, you think he's human, but you're not sure, because at the last moment when he casts this spell that hits Nobel and then she just disappears, at that moment he is not human. He looks something, well, a little more like
Oh boy.
this.
Whoa. I mean, that's cool, man. I'm not gonna lie, that's awesome.
It is cool, but also fuck him.
Yeah, that's bad.
And that memory is, tinged with a whole lot of fear and a whole lot of anger and a whole lot of sadness, but she's given you an accurate visual description, because she showed you exactly what he looks like.
He gets out his sketchbook as quickly as possible and draws it as best he can. He's not like the world's best artist, but he has to be able to draw, to storyboard, to come up with compositions. And, he's not terrible. Mm-hmm. He's okay at drawing, and he gets the gist of it. And he will basically consult with his art department later and get a better version of what he's put down as his memory, as fresh as it is. And he pats Hope and says, all right, I think that's enough of that. Let's get you where you're supposed to be.
And she makes happy humming noises at that, because, yay! Moving from this room she's been kept in for 8 years!
Yeah, that would suck.
Hey, you had a cool roommate!
Does Tobias say that out loud?
Not Kyle.
And they were roommates.
He does. Oh my god, they were roommates.
Yes. Okay, are we moving the pecking machine? Because, let's do this.
Yes, we are.
Tobias, roll me performance to make sure you know how to, get these codes in, because you're not adept in reading scribble music.
It's fine, everything is fine. I have a +5.
Oh,
Yay!
yeah, you do.
Okay, you get this you get this, you get her put into stasis mode, which is, it kind of feels like she's just fallen asleep.
Aw.
And
Aww.
and then you you get the positional lock turned off, which will allow you to actually be able to move her. And then you get the whatchamacallit, you put in the reduction code and shoop, the Hope is now the size of a suitcase.
Oh my god! It's tiny! It's so tiny! I'm dying! I wasn't expecting it to be that. I was like thinking of an upright piano type size, but that's adorable.
Yeah, nope, she's the size of like a good sized steamer trunk suitcase.
Oh,
Okay,
I love that
Tobias?
so much.
Tobias, you hear the engineer make a noise you've never heard him make before, and he goes,
Oh, God.
he just goes,
Oh my god!
it's a most involuntary bird-like sound, and you have
Mom,
never heard him
Mom,
make
you
it.
can't do this to me. I'm going to cry.
He is just enamored. He loves her so much. This is
Please.
adorable.
You know what? If you're looking at Tobias, he's actually actively crying.
Aww!
That was the cutest sound he ever heard.
Oh man. I mean, he's all about like getting back to business, so he doesn't notice. I'm going to say he doesn't notice. And he goes
Oh
around
my
one
God.
side he goes around one side and says, "All right, come on, let's get her to I think yes, there's a good room that's solid and safe enough that's very close to Willow. I think that'll suit her."
Okay. Tobias goes on the other side.
Okay. Let me
Alright.
guess. Strength.
You're gonna need to roll me first strength and then constitution, because you are carrying a
Oh
thing
no.
that has the weight of a small pipe organ.
Oh my. Okay, so it didn't reduce that.
No, just compressing the magical pipe organ does not make her less heavy.
I'm gonna say like maybe we should do the strength thing and then the engineer will realize and come up with a smarter idea. But
Yeah.
anyway, let's see how badly this goes first.
That's
12!
a 12. And that's a 13.
No, it's actually not that bad, but it's not that good either.
No, I think they both try and are surprised and sort of go,
Oh,
don't put it down. This isn't gonna work. Let me think. Oh, I know. We've got plenty of jacks. I'll get a dolly up here. We'll be able to wheel her out the door. Now she's the size. There's a more intelligent way of doing this.
Yeah, don't break your arms trying to move the thing.
It's putting it back out that I'm worried about. I mean, I guess, do we move by montage, or do you want us to roll something for that? Because he does have equipment to raise and lift and move heavy stuff, like cameras. There's a lot of them.
Given that you've found a more intelligent solution that I didn't plan for, let's just travel by montage.
Yay!
Yay!
We are there. This, by the way,
We
is
love
a
to see
strong room. There's a strong room near where Willow is docked in, like, basically a miniature train station at the back of the studio. And this is for the equipment used to maintain Willow, because it's expensive stuff and you need to keep it safe.
That's as good a place as any, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yep, we're gonna put her in there and wheel her in. I mean, they are going past Willow. Like, does she get a read on fellow sentient machine?
I think she's going to try to.
Yay.
D20 plus 3.
They probably take a few minutes to let them meet each other.
Yeah. I think as Hope is going by Willow, she is still in stasis mode, but she kind of wakes up a little and does a very sleepy little chime that's quieter and, like, higher pitched because she's smaller. But she does a friendly little, kind of sleepy greeting chime, like, "Oh, hello! Are you gonna be my neighbor?"
And Willow makes a sleepy sort of...
Oh, that's adorable. I love that.
So they have met, and the room is close enough that I
Yeah.
suspect they will be able to talk. And I don't know if that would be like psychically or literally audially, which might be, they may have to go and tell them to be quiet when they're filming. But no, that's adorable.
I mean, Hope communicates empathically, so
Mm. Yeah, Willow's about that kind of stuff too, so that'll work really good.
They're
So-
gonna have a sleepover every night.
Yes.
they're
Girls' night.
friends.
Also, Willow's, as it were, sentience, her spirit is more adult aged. Like, she was made quite a long time ago now. So in terms of like how she behaves, she is kind of like a mama.
Aww.
Aww.
So you got to train mom.
Aww,
Fuck yeah.
right.
Train mom. Train mom.
I mean, March kind of experienced that when she told him how to drive her. So
Yeah, and
Oh, that's true.
Hope's got a consciousness that's very baby. Cause like she's existed for 8 years. She's
Aw.
only been sentient and like aware for 6.
Yeah, the engineer finished
Aw.
making Willow. I mean, she's had updates since, but when he was 28 and he's 60.
Oh god, Willow is way older than
God.
Hope.
Yeah, she's her mum. That's what I said. Like, she's about 38, 40 in terms of, like, it took her a little while to wake up, as it were. But that's how old she is now.
I can't believe Hope is getting adopted by Train Mom.
Hell yeah.
Wonderful.
Willow's gonna love this too. She's been kind of lonely, honestly.
Hey, so is
Aw.
Hope. They can be friends.
Yeah. I mean, Willow gets outings. Willow gets to talk to Train Dad and move around, so it's not too bad. But, like, yeah, another machine to talk to that's great.
Yeah. So you get her into this strong room, and you get her presumably back to normal size. Tobias, have you mentioned the whole maintainer thing to the engineer yet?
I think maybe while they moved her, he was talking a bit about how he thought the engineer will be a great maintainer. Even more so when they went past Willow.
Oh. You get a sort of rosy, warm glow from the ears. Like that's what happened when he's embarrassed. Like the heat goes to his
Aw.
ears. Same with me. I get bright pink ears when I'm embarrassed.
Aw.
So- yeah, he's pleased about it. But again, like there is this almost he's still a bit concerned about this magical aspect because like he wants to be this machine's maintainer. He doesn't know if he can be.
Well, does he say that to Tobias?
I have expressed already that he's a recalcitrant little bugger. I would think that you have to make an insight check. I'll give you advantage because you know him a lot.
alright.
Like you've been around this guy now for half a year more than
That's
18 will do it.
That's a nat 20!
20! You absolutely understand everything that I just said. Like you get what I just said. Like Tobias understands that's where he's at.
Tobias is knowing.
He's perceiving the thoughts.
Yep.
Tobias has become psychic.
Effectively. I mean, it's that obvious to you. Like not to anybody else, but it is to you.
Do you want to talk about it, sir?
Hey, but I don't think I need to talk to you about it. And he is looking at Hope.
She's awake now, so it's kind of because again, she likes you, so she's very willing to talk to you. You get sort of the mental sensation of someone tilting their head and listening.
Is it okay if we take a break? Because this might get heavy.
Okay.
Oh,
Break time.
I'm not sure.
Yay.
I'm not sure, but it could. So, like, I think this is a good point for a 5-minute break. Thank you.
Yeah, 5-minute
time
break.
for the break.
Thank
Yay.
you.
I'm gonna
Oh,
go
I'm just gonna go stretch.
get some water and
Mm.
check the peanut gallery.
Yeah, you do that.
I
I'm
already
gonna
got
run away.
everything I need.
I'll be back in a
Yay.
minute.
Okay. Oh boy. Well, that was sweet.
Yay! I can't believe Hope is already getting freaking adopted. I mean, we knew it was gonna
Well,
happen, but
I mean,
jeez.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either. I'm just surprised it's happening this early on.
I'm not surprised, but I'm surprised. That's literally what you just said.
I'm not surprised that
Well,
it
you
happened.
can't.
I'm surprised that it happened this quickly.
Well, I'm still not surprised that it happened this quickly. Just Hope is baby, and Angie's dad. They're perfect for each other.
Oh my god. I can't believe she got a train mom.
Train mom, train dad, a parent, her parents. She's got everything.
This baby is made of love.
Exactly, and we love her.
God, reading over the peanut gallery. Ah, there's cuteness.
I'm not looking at the old messages yet. I'm keeping that for after the game.
Yeah, good point. I'm gonna scroll back down to the bottom. Oh god.
I choose you.
I don't know why everyone thinks she's so adorable. She's literally a pipe organ.
Yeah, and do you think that's gonna stop us?
She's a pipe organ. How is that baby?
With feelings! With feelings! She's baby!
Just wait until you see her new design. What?
I mean, what?
Hopefully you'll be getting that by the end of this game, but things have
We'll
gone
see.
very differently than I expected them to. I had to actually, poke you guys to talk about, hey, where the fuck did this thing come from? So that's surprising.
I'm back. Hello.
Hi!
Hi. Oh my god, I just see Cell's art. Oh, that's adorable. Baby mama. Oh, that's so cute.
You got the idea across,
Train
Cell,
mama
and
music,
also I'm
baby.
melting.
Yeah.
Train
Trains
mama
are
music,
hard.
baby.
Trains are really hard. I can't draw them without reference, and I adore them. So, yeah. Oh, hello everybody.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
thanks for giving me a bit of a break there, because I need to do that sometimes.
Don't worry.
Of course, no worries.
It
no
has
worries.
been an hour.
Oh, jeez, it has. God. What the fuck?
Yeah, that happens.
Time flies when you're having fun. Or at least I hope you guys are having fun. I'm having
Oh,
fun. Are you guys
absolutely.
having
This
fun?
is
I
this is
absolutely
wonderful.
am having fun.
I love it.
Yay! Fun is being
It
had.
feels like Tobias and Angie haven't had a game together in some time,
Yeah.
even though it was only since Good Blues.
Yeah.
That's true. God, yeah. I mean, that was a while ago now.
Yeah, that was a couple months ago.
Yeah,
That was a while.
it feels like
That was
it's
a while
been
ago.
so long.
No, it's really nice playing with you guys. This is lovely.
Aw.
I also apologize
I love
if
playing with you too,
Tobias, you get not talked to for a bit, because this is some
no,
shit.
Don't worry about it. I mean,
He's
it's
not
the
gonna have
meeting
fun
between
doing
the engineer and Hope.
Yeah,
That's
I guess.
understandable.
I will make sort of a note right now while we're out of character. Mod, you listen to Harmony, right?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Okay, so you know that thing that Nobel does where she sets a hand on the fuel tank or rests her forehead against it to try and talk to Hope?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically the maintainer's connection, if that helps you any.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost accidentally been doing that, when he was as it were, touching the fuel tank and everything. He knows instinctively. He figured out what the fuel was, not what it was, but where the fuel was on Neverending Train without necessarily being told. He was like, oh, that's a big burny glowy thing. That's what's making the train go whoosh. But that was also magic, so he didn't mess with that. If anybody was listening to that game was like, why didn't you ask? That's why. There's a reason.
And you know,
You don't do magic.
Oh,
He has a
God.
complicated relationship. We're gonna probably have to talk about that. Oh dear.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
Also, Mada, I just want to say you're sorry that Angie and Tobias are not gonna talk much, but it's okay because they're gonna have a game together where they'll be forced to talk to each other. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Foreshadowing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. That's
We did
spoilers
it,
material
Xavier.
right there.
Listen, I'm just too excited for that game. I have to talk a bit
I am
about it.
excited about that game too. I really cannot wait.
I get
That
to
will
play
also,
in that, and I'm excited.
yeah, that will also help with this issue. You're going to find out about that. Anyway, okay.
It absolutely will.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'm
no more
back. I'm
talking
ready to
about the
go.
spoilers.
Are we
Okay,
good?
we're good. I didn't stop recording because
Oh, you're a genius. Okay.
paranoia.
Yeah, it makes sense. I never do either. I just edit out the middle bit.
I don't even do that. I just post it all on YouTube. Like, here, have unedited friends being dorks.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yay!
But yeah, we are ready to pick up if you are.
Yeah, I'm good.
I am.
So,
I mean-
back into Fantasyland, I guess.
Yeah.
Awkward
Part
transition.
2. Yeah, the adverts have ended. So yeah, we're all in the room with Hope, and he's just said he needs to talk to Hope.
Yeah. I will say, it's very similar to how she reacts to Primrose and Marcel and Tobias when they've needed to talk to her to get her to... Well, Primrose needed to get her to trust her, Marcel needed to be able to give and take. It's very much like, she's doing that thing that she does where it's kind of like, you can tell her anything and she's not going to judge you.
Mm.
And she's still
See,
gonna
this
love you
is-
anyway.
He's kind of got a grip on that. And the problem
Actually,
is...
I think Tobias is gonna ask if he has to leave to let them talk together.
He's relieved that you've done that. Because, yeah, basically, it's not because I don't trust you. You know that by now. It's... There are some things about me that I don't want to burden you with. Certainly not yet.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a lot going on as it is.
I mean, I don't mind talking about all that, but if you don't want to talk about it yet, it's okay.
If you'll forgive me for that indulgence, that would be kind of you.
Okay, I'll leave you together for a few minutes. Just call me back when you're done with it. Anyway, I'm
That's
going now.
fine. You go talk with Will for a bit.
I will.
I mean, is Tobias going to do that because it's adorable?
He's absolutely going to go talk with Willow for the time
That's
being.
so cute. I mean, I want you to roll insight just to see how well your conversation goes while we're in here doing our
Oh
own
god.
Yeah. How well does Toby talk to Train Mom?
Oh no! How does this go? You've
Tobias
got to
is too
tell me.
awkward. Tobias is too awkward. He's just like, oh yeah, I'll absolutely go talk to Willow. And then the second he's out of the room, he's like, oh boy, Felix talk, that's hard.
That's amazing. Yeah, you like just try to, as it were, pretend to talk to this train, I think. And Willow is just like, oh, Toby, bless you. Like she's totally ready to talk to you. It's just, I think there's still, especially after the nightmare fuel incident, maybe you're actually kind of a bit scared of her.
No, he's absolutely not scared of Willow because that's
good.
not her fault. But
No.
he really doesn't know what to say.
Conversation
Okay.
topics are hard.
Yeah, they are, and the engineer
Yeah.
knows that very well right now.
Oh dear.
In fact, he does trust Tobias not to listen in, but he doesn't trust other people not to listen in. I mean, my goodness, some of the owls are nosy. So he actually is going to do something he's never done before, and he can speak Primordial. So he's going to speak in Primordial.
Oh my god.
And I can't, obviously, and you wouldn't understand it if I could. But it basically, in his tongue, this is the equivalent of the fire spirit language, and it sounds like fires. It sounds like crackling. It sounds like shifting coals. It sounds like whoosh and sparks and things that we can't easily describe or have words for. But it's an entire language.
That's
If
great.
anybody
That's
ever
very
asks,
cool.
yeah, and if anybody ever asks him what his partner's name was, that he was formerly married to, he can only say her name or their name in primordial, and it sounds like a bonfire.
Oh,
Oh, that's very, very cool. I love that.
my
Yeah.
heart. That's soft.
Yeah, so if you were always wondering what the heck they were called, that's why I've never said their name can't be translated.
Aw, I love
It's
them.
understandable.
I love
I
them.
love them very much.
Anyway, I'm now procrastinating because I'm nervous, just like him.
It's okay. Take your time.
Felix, talk!
So, like, I mean, you've said like interacting with the fuel is the best place to talk to. Yeah, Hope, is that right?
Basically, each person responsible for her functioning has a different access point, and yes, the maintainer's access point, not accents point, that's a different thing. The maintainer's access point is basically setting a hand on the fuel tank. The main one in the middle is the most common, but if you can't reach because that's a long way across the panel and short arms, then the lower ones also work. Prim actually, surprisingly, used more of a maintainer's approach than an operator's approach when she had her heart-to-heart with Hope, because she basically like tucked herself under the panels and sat up against one of the fuel tanks, and that's basically, I sent you a doc explaining this. The maintainer's job, or the maintainer's role, is a lot more conversational than it is um with the operators, and that is the easiest place. That is, contact with that part of her is basically contact as close as you can get without actually sticking your hand in the fuel, which I would not recommend.
He's tempted.
I mean, it's really
Please,
hot.
please don't.
It's
yeah, he's
really
still
hot.
tempted. Yeah, he's still tempted.
Please stop!
He's not going to, but he's tempted.
Because, like, the last person who, activated the fuel with their magic was somebody who was blessed by the Flame Eternal, aka the eternal spirit of forward motion and progress, aka
Wow.
big fucking magic bonfire.
Nice. He's still tempted. Okay, I'm gonna say he because Tobias isn't there at the moment. He's gonna sit with his back up against the big support place in front of the keyboard, like underneath it, like that big broad one.
Yeah, the bottom of the
like,
bottle, as it were.
Yeah, he won't be able to do that when it's like being played. He'll figure something out. He'll get a step ladder, whatever. He's not above that. Certainly not above that. He's very short. Sorry. So yeah, he's just gonna sit against that and talk. This is going to be awkward.
You can do it.
So, how do I start this conversation? Do you know what a fire spirit is?
I'm going to say she communicates with you through memory through this, so when I say she says something, she's either showing you an emotion or showing you a memory. And you get a feeling of contemplation for a moment, and then there are actually two different memories of types of fire spirits she shows you. The first is a silhouette of a woman with wings done up completely in fire. And then the second is actually the type of fire spirit you're referring to.
The second one. That's the one I'm talking about. Do you know much about their life cycles?
No. There's a sort of mental shake of the head. She hasn't been out much.
Yeah, and for those listening, this is playing off a bit of the Hat in Time lore. Like, if you haven't played that game, play that game. It's great, but there's these things called fire spirits, and they look like for want of a better, less browser web orientated joke, firefoxes, and they
Hang on, I think I
have
can grab a picture.
yeah, there's plenty of nice pictures, and they are pretty. And
I mean, I can grab the picture because I'm not talking.
yeah, you can do that. That's good. Thank you. And he says, well, every fire spirit in this plane, when they are born to this plane, they are attached to a fire, and their life is connected to that fire. And basically, the culmination of their existence here is to burn as brightly as possible before they burn out. I'm not even sure why. It's a compulsion. The only comparison I can make is, there's particular types of plants that only seed when there's a wildfire. It's a bit like that, but it's more important than that. It's something to do with the very essence of why they exist. It's very important to them, and I am half fire spirit. I mean, even saying that much has been difficult for me before now. Not because I'm ashamed of it. No. It's not a bit of that. It's because I'm afraid of that inherent self-destructive tendency coming out more if I lean into that side of me too much.
I think when you mention that fear, there's sort of, she doesn't quite know how to react because, again, she's very young. She doesn't have much experience with this, but she does her best because she gives you sort of a feeling of being hugged.
I appreciate that. Gives her a pat. Definitely gives her a pat. The thing is, like, I talk about self-destructive tendencies because I already have them. I mean, till recently, I had absolutely no care if I died in the next 5 minutes. The exception was when I was married and then I had children in my immediate care, but after they grew up and moved on, it came back with a vengeance of that. And Tobias, you're not there, but you probably know, being a fan, that after his 45th year, his work reputation took a bit of a downturn, and the films were just as good, but his stunts became excessively dangerous, and that was the start of his really terrifying tyrant-like behavior on set.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh,
I'm aware that I could still die at any time, especially with the new friends I keep making. And I'm at peace with that. I'm not boasting either. It's just the fact. I don't think I can ever be afraid of the idea of my death. But I do fear for the impact on the people I leave behind. I don't want to abandon or neglect people by dying.
And she actually sort of gives a feeling of understanding at this. And it's hard to explain how she says it because she doesn't say with words, but she does give you the impression that, she doesn't know you very well. She's getting to know you a little bit now because while you're talking to her, you're also right up against her, so she can also kind of get a read on you and your memories. It's not like she's actively sorting through them, but she can see some of your memories as you think of them. And it's not really a sensation of comfort so much as it is one of empathy and understanding, because abandoning people, failing people by disappearing, she may not be able to die, but boy, she knows that feeling. And she also assures you that she does her best to assure you that, well, she doesn't have a lot of experience, so she can't give the advice as well as somebody else probably could, but she kind of gives you the impression that if you don't want it to happen and you actively try to make it not happen, then it won't.
At that, he actually kind of shakes his head, and a lot of the memories you're actually getting a movie experience right now, Hope, because he's not even fully aware of this or doesn't want to be. But the engineer has subconsciously, until now, expressed his inherited desire to burn bright and then burn out by making films. And, you know, they're like the equivalent of his fire in this world. But he dies in a lot of them repeatedly. He never dies in a boring way either. It's a dull, slow fade to grey ash is the worst possible way for a fire spirit to die. And he's never been told that, but his body just knows this instinctively.
Hmm.
Yeah, he puts his head like way back up against this machine now, just like, I know it's complicated. Due to the enemies I've made, I'm constantly struggling with the fact that I'm drawing danger to people that I love, but I also know that cutting myself off from them wouldn't make them any safer. If anything, it'd just make things easier for someone to kill them or use them against me. The only thing I can do for everyone is try to survive, try to live. And that's what's frightening me off from my magic. How can I use it? How can I live if there's a part of me that's constantly seeking to burn?
I think you get a sort of sensation of asking permission. She wants to show you something.
He just nods. He submits to whatever she has in mind.
And Angie, now you're kind of getting not exactly a movie, but a montage experience. You don't know Nobel Price. Hope does, because a big part of Hope's fuel is a portion of Nobel's soul. And she's already drawing parallels between you and her original creator. And she shows you Nobel's experience with the flame of progress and how it constantly pushed her, not in the same way yours pushes you, but how her magic, the more she used it, the more it pushed her to throw everything aside, caution to the wind. Nobody else matters. All that matters is moving forward. All that matters is making something better. All that matters is continuing to go, constant forward and upward motion.
Mm,
And
yeah, he
what
gets that.
what she shares with you is that Nobel was scared of the same thing, that she was going to leave everyone behind because she would lose control of her magic and the influence that the Flame Eternal's blessing had on her, and she would just become a wildfire and throw everything that wasn't a progression forward aside. And she shows you how Nobel managed to keep a hold of it, which I think is something you would already know. You don't you don't stop doing something because you're scared. You find a way to keep going despite the fear. And in Nobel's case, she didn't fear her magic because she had people around her to keep her grounded. She had people around her who would hold her back when she started to go off the rails, and people who she could think of when she started to have the thoughts of, why should I stay here? Why should I keep going on this project? We're not making any progress. We're not succeeding at anything. This isn't working. I need to do something else. I need to drop this. I need to find the next thing. She would always think to the people, not to the situation. And Hope isn't very wise. She isn't very smart. She isn't old enough to have experience, but she's maybe suggesting that, well, you have people like that. You've just said you're scared of abandoning them. Why don't, instead of being scared of your magic, why don't you put trust in your ability to hold on to them and their ability to hold on to you?
Mm. Yeah, he does very much think about this, and yeah, it's uncanny. It's uncanny the similarities, because pushing himself to make bigger and better and brighter, as it were, films, uh, very similar. That's like a mirror image of quite a lot of his life there. I actually tried, failed to express this to someone while on a subway train. It was a stupid idea. It wasn't the right time. He didn't need that on top of his own troubles. I'd already made that conversation too much about myself and not about him. And I'm talking about the subway game. And it's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
He did make that conversation too much about him. But as he didn't know how to communicate with Larry, who wasn't giving him much. Let's be fair. But he also thought he could actually be like dying at the time. There's reasons, I think, aside from being an egomaniac. I think there's some viable reasons for
Yeah.
that. Anyway, but he does the same demonstration. He doesn't even know if Hope can see, but I don't think that matters. He does the same demonstration as he did back then and summons a little crackling lightning to his right paw, and the feathers of it turn coal black. And he turns it this way and that, looking at it like he's frowning, basically. His snout is kind of like all creased. And the fact my feathers turn black when I'm using this magic, it feels like a warning or a metaphor somehow, that the more I lean into my magic, the more the person I am now is being burned away, and the more the fire spirit side of me surfaces. I am curious about this side of me now. I want to use it to help people. I want to use you to help people and understand it more, but I need to live. I also want to live. And that's what's terrifying to me. Supportive and understanding of it, though I've tried to be, I remember all too keenly the pain caused to me by my partner's desires and departure from this world, and I remember equally my mother's pain and sadness after my father did the same. I don't want to be the cause of that same pain. For the first time in my life, I care about not dying.
I need a second not to cry, but
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I told you it might get deep,
I'm
but
emotional.
that's where he is right now. Like, he wants to help, but he doesn't know if it's a good idea.
Um, hmm. I don't think Hope says anything. I think she just continues giving that feeling of support and care and comfort, and because she can sort of pull memories forth, she does not directly pull, but nudge memories at you of times when the people you care about, the people you're scared of leaving behind, the people who you want to live for, which is noble and very warm and heartfelt and good, she nudges reminders towards you of times when they've supported you. And she kind of, when she does eventually find her quote unquote words, she kind of gives you actually kind of hear her voice. And it's very young. You hear almost a child's voice and says, "Do you really think they'd let you go?"
Not without one hell of a fight, I suppose. The problem is, would I put a fight up?
Would you?
I don't know.
Well, I
I
I
want to
don't.
say yes, but I don't know if I'm that strong. People suppose I'm people suppose I'm much stronger than I am, but I I think they sometimes think that I'm the people I play in my movies more than the person I actually am.
And you get the sensation of a hug again, and it is actually more physical this time. It almost feels like a pair of arms are wrapped around your waist from behind, kind of like, you know, that one moment in Steven Universe with "I think you're pretty great."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
You're getting that
And
kind of hug, and
mm,
she very quietly says, "Maybe that's true, but, well, I don't know much about people, but I think you're stronger than you give yourself credit for."
he just sighs. It's like the biggest staggery sigh you've ever heard. And he's put a hand on where, metaphorically, this pair of arms are embracing him, but it's just him, and in a weird way, that's kind of self-assuring to feel that. And his hand stops being black, like the magic goes away. But yeah, he just nods and says, "If I'm the only person who can look after you, I'll do the best I can. But are you sure there's nobody else that you'd rather be taken care of?" I
And she's quiet for a very long moment. I'm going to actually ask you to roll wisdom.
Yay! Okay, that's a nat 20 plus 1. Holy shit! That's a
Okay,
21.
so
Damn.
you still have this sensation of being hugged, but because you and her are kind of sharing a mind right now, she can actually appear to you visually. And you get
Ooh.
this image of a very small child with who's just outlined in the same glowing blue as the fuel in the tank, and she's just sort of leaned up against your side, and she says, "Well, I don't know lots of people. My creator, she was supposed to be the one who took care of me. She built me, and she did really good with that, but, well, then she was supposed to give the role of maintainer over to him." And she wrinkles her nose and looks very angry because she doesn't like Kyle at all.
Mm-mm.
And then he ruined everything. He stole me. He left everyone there to die. He hurt my new operators in ways I don't know how to fix. And he broke my connection with my old ones. And then my creator, she never came looking. She never tried to find me. I I don't God, this is weird for a machine to say. I don't trust easy. I don't like a lot of people, but I don't know you very well, but I want to, and I trust you, and if you really don't feel like you'd be safe, then absolutely you can try and find somebody else who can do it. But, and she looks up at you here, and it's kind of hard to see because her form is very blurry and glitchy and distorted because she's not used to projecting any sort of humanoid form. But she looks up at you with just very trusting and open and honest eyes, and she says, "I think I would feel safest and happiest, and I would be honored to have you as part of my team, as one of my people. I can't make you if you feel unsafe or unhappy doing so, but I would love to have you along."
I mean, that is a lot to take in, but there's only one answer he can give. He doesn't even have to say it, right?
Well, if he thinks it, she can feel it.
Yeah, he has been more open with this machine than he has with basically anybody. Like he gets along with machines. You've probably gathered that. He does he when she appeared, he did get a sort of whiplash of guilt because this is such a young person. But at the same time, this is such a force of wisdom, and he feels less qualified to give advice than this person that he's talking to. And hey, I mean, who better to give insight than a child sometimes? So yeah, he just, as it were, is open. He would give her a hug, but like I don't know if projection hugs are a possibility. But yeah, he's just completely. I am your tool. I will do whatever I can.
And she smiles, and the last thing before the projection disappears is her hugging him and then, like, gently guiding his hand to rest on the fuel tanks and saying very quietly, just try not to be too scared, okay? And then she vanishes.
And he tries.
And it's a weird sensation. It's kind of like if you put your soul on the wrong end of a vacuum.
That's an amazing description. That's really great. I love that. There's something very Douglas Adams about that. I
As
love that.
she starts to pull just a little bit of his magic into her, but not just his magic, a bit of his personality, a bit of his heart, a bit of his feelings, a bit of what he has just shown her and just been open to her with. How does he react to this as he feels this being pulled?
I mean, he is afraid, but he has done things despite being afraid before. Like, his entire life has been made out of that. Courage isn't about not being scared, it's about doing what you have to do anyway. So he commits wholeheartedly like he has done on all of his other projects. He 100% puts everything he can into this, even though he doesn't fully know what he's doing.
As you do this, as you put in this 100%, as you're giving as much as she can take, you watch as not just the fuel in the fuel tanks, but also Hope's design as a whole changes. It's not unrecognizable, and maybe it's not even 100% you. She starts to look more toony and more stylized, and the last thing to change is that she pulls a burst of your magic into the fuel tank, and swirls of glowing orange and yellow and red and magenta flame go spiraling around the fuel, and it takes on a different texture, almost like liquid light, as there's a glowing core of the original magic, but there's also your magic now supporting it, and the fuel no longer feels tired. It doesn't feel like she's worn out. It's beautiful and bright and iridescent, and you can tell she's grateful, and she's more awake than she's been in years, and she's thankful, and she's happy, and she's welcoming, and she's so glad that you agreed to work with her.
I'm
And
kind of. Yeah, okay. That's adorable. And what a wonderful visual. Oh, gosh. I mean, while this is happening, in terms of design sense for him, oh, here it comes. Oh, here's the new one. Oh, look at that, guys. Oh, the art. You are so
It's so
good at
pretty.
these.
Also, I've been crying for the past 10 minutes.
I'm sorry, Liz. Oh, man.
It's fine.
That's
Oh
I come
my
so
God.
close. I've just been like trying to hold it back so I can keep talking. Oh, that's amazing. Um The engineer has turned completely black.
Cool.
He was giving it 100%. And I think this is a good point at which probably to bring Tobias back in. You probably saw like a change of light, and maybe you like feel something has changed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's connected to Hope, so you can kind of feel the emotional changes she has.
Yeah, she would have been like keeping it a little more private because, this is a private conversation and she's not very smart, but she knows when sometimes people need a moment on their own to talk. But Tobias,
Yeah.
you can feel the sheer joy and gratitude radiating off of her. You could feel it from a mile away. I mean, you could feel anything she felt from a mile away anyway, but you know what I mean.
No,
And
he's just waiting to be called back in.
you feel a little more awake too.
You hear a sort of shaky, all right, I think you can come back in.
He just struts to the door and opens it slowly to look around.
So you see the new machine, but you also you don't see him completely black, but you do see him changing back, and you've never seen black feathers on this guy's. But like, yeah, it seems to have stuck around his chest and on the top of his head, and then it's dispersing as you come back into the room.
Mm-hmm. Well, once again, I have explained why, but he's not gonna ask about that.
I don't even know if the engineer's cognizant of the fact that happened. He was just so into what he was doing.
And Hope actually
everything was alright.
Hope actually activates on her own and gives like a very cheerful little happy melody of greeting.
Aww.
Looks like she's happy to
I'm
see
guessing
you.
everything went good.
That's yeah, I think it did.
And
I'm glad. I'm very glad.
Engie, you feel sort of like a supportive, happy nudge of, yeah, it went well, in the back of your head.
Yeah, he smiles at that.
Well, it was private. I'm not gonna ask about what happened, but I'm glad everything went well. And, yeah, I'm really happy you got to talk it out together.
So am I. Gives her a pat. He says, well, I think we've done basically as much as we can without your other two friends. I
Lewis,
mean,
if you don't say it, I will have Hope say it.
Yeah. He's asking.
I didn't hear. That's why I'm not saying it.
Oh no! He basically said like they've done as much, like you two have done as much as you can with Hope by yourselves, and is implying like, is there something else going on with the? I mean, like he already kind of knew about Primrose, but the other guy.
He doesn't know what to say.
Engie, you get sort of another "can I show you a memory" feeling in the back of your head.
Oh
You
no!
just get straight permission.
Does Tobias know that?
Tobias, you get a feeling of slight mischievousness off of Hope, which is something you haven't felt before, because she's getting more of a personality as she works with you guys. And
Engineer has said, basically, give me the tea.
Engie, you see a whole bunch of
a sky blue. Like, no.
You see a bunch of moments of just different times that the Star Trio has just been being cute around Hope.
Oh, that's so sweet.
God.
And it's funny because you finally get to see the way she sees, which is you see everything on sort of a plane of pitch black with silhouettes outlined in different colors. It looks kind of like how they look in the Star Trio looks kind of like how they look in this image, but the only difference is they don't have discernible features. It's just the silhouette.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes it. He's also, I'm sorry, he's such a scavenger. Any artist is, but he's totally jotting that down as like a visual method. He likes that. The closest he's done to this was he did The Good Father, which is terrible. But that was completely in black and white. Completely in black and white, apart from the main characters who were all UPA, and apart from him, and they were all in color. But like that's a step further, and he likes this look. So he just has the biggest smile, and if you can see, his tail is wagging. His tail is wagging.
And she has been given the tea.
I knew it. I knew there was something going on there.
I was waiting for the right moment, but alright, I guess.
Hope just kind of gives you a feeling of sorry, not sorry, Tobias.
I can't believe this.
She's
You
just.
could have told me sooner. I've got to get Miss Silla a Christmas present now. I mean, Animus present. What's Christmas? I've never heard of it.
What's a Christmas?
Nope, never heard of it. Well, it's another one to add
speaking of
to
that,
the
you
list.
have to tell me as to celebrate Animus.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, you're coming to the party, right? We have like annual Animus movie showings in this place. We get the kiss round from the local orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, would you like to see some of my movies, Hope? I don't know if you can, but I mean, the screen will be hanging up over Willow, so the kids love Willow. They just climb all over her.
There's a very excited and curious feeling from Hope because what's a movie? She's never seen a movie before.
Oh my peck. I have got so much to tell you. I have got so much to show you.
Because movies don't exist on the Evershore Isles yet.
Oh no! Oh my goodness! Like again, he's been pushing for this ever since a certain conversation. But transcontinental movie showings, like he's really pushing to get his pictures out there now.
But yeah, she's really excited. She doesn't know what a movie is. She doesn't even know if she'll be able to see it, but she knows she'll be able to hear it, and she really wants to figure it out.
Aww.
He wants to figure it out too. I mean, heck, she's a machine. The projectors are machines. Like he'll be able to rig something up so that she can understand. Probably maybe
talk to the projectors.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be an ongoing side project. He is going to get Hope to watch movies. That's a sentence.
Get the magic pipe organ to a movie night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got the machine into the right place, and engineer got through his issues. Is there anything else? I'm dying to know.
I don't have anything else on the notes. Do you guys have anything more that you want to do?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Well,
I think they're just going to say goodnight to Hope. I'm guessing it's going to be conveniently late. And you just have a wee chinwag with Willow. I'm sure you'll two get along great. Tobias, I need a wee word with you by yourself, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. All right.
So they're gonna leave Hope alone because, like, she's got to integrate into her new world, and you know she's had a big day.
Yeah, she's sleepy.
Tobias
like she went into stasis mode for a while, but she's sleepy.
Tobias gives a little hug to Up before leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I will note one last thing then, Tobias. You make contact. Mm-hmm. She's a lot warmer than she used to be.
Aww. Wonderful.
Yeah.
He's very happy.
Engineer is going to be like seeing her daily. I hope you understand, because he does checks on Willow daily. So like these two girls are going to get special attention.
Aww.
Oh, don't worry. Tobias is gonna check her up daily too.
Yeah, Tobias has been rooming with her.
He's an old-fashioned. Actually, yeah, as you're walking up, he says, "Do you know why I call all of my machines ladies' names?"
No.
Well, I'm an old-fashioned bird, and I just, I believe that every lady should be treated like a queen. Occasionally, you have to dismember them, but most of the time, you just have to really pay them a lot of respect.
And he drinks his respect women juice.
But not respecting royalty too much.
Yeah.
He's still a rebel. But yeah, he manages to get you, as it were, far enough away from Willow and Hope to, have a little word in your ear. I know you didn't want to worry me about Kyle, but can you understand the folly of not doing so?
Well, I do understand that now, but it just so much happened these last few months. I didn't want to get something else on your plate.
I am, I'm fond of a hearty meal, but here's the thing, and he gives you a big hug. He gives you a big hug. Like, he basically, grabs you so that you have to bend over forwards. So,
Oh, God.
He's short, man. Like, there's still a height disparity, even if Tobias isn't the tallest of men.
Benji bends Toby like a pipe cleaner.
And yeah.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, he's basically giving you a hug and says, with a very firm grip on you, like, I am here as your director, but also as your family. You have to trust me.
I do trust you.
So, what are you going to do if someone like Peck and Kyle turns up in the future?
I got to tell you that the second I can. Is that correct?
That's correct, and by doing so, you're not just helping yourself, you're helping me, you're helping protect the entire studio. It's the best possible thing you can do. So
Okay.
no more of this secretive moping around about pecking Kyle. And by the way, she did show me, I am going to rip his head off of his incorporeal shoulders.
You better not do this with on me.
Alright, I'll leave a piece of him for you to have a go at.
Thanks, Dad.
Maybe a toe.
Thanks, Dad.
It's no problem, son.
Oh, God.
Hey, you started that.
I was not expecting that answer. Anyway.
Well, you got it. Okay, laddie, that's enough. I've embarrassed you enough already. Now you run off and go talk to your lovers. Tell them how well it went.
Right. I will. And also make sure that they get enough sleep.
Aye, that's right. I want to have a nice conversation with you all someday.
Oh, God.
You've got to invite your parents over. I mean, that's the biggest step, isn't it?
Nope, okay, I'm leaving. Goodbye, sir.
He is just mercilessly teasing him all the way out of the building. Full troll dad.
Oh my God.
I can't believe this.
So that wee holiday you took with those two, is that?
Yeah, it was alright. I don't need to talk about this right now.
Oh, I'm sure you had a lot to talk about.
Oh, God.
Hey. Fade to black?
Fade to black. Okay.
Terrible.
And with that, we zoom out and fade to black. Because that's a good place to end it.
Yay! That was adorable. Yay.
That was wonderful. Thank
Yay.
you so much for agreeing to play this with me. That was so much fun. I'm sorry I was such a scatterbrain, but
You were fine. I'm sorry for making you cry.
It was wonderful.
I
do
cry
need to
easy.
cry once in a while.
I cry
Crying
really
is good.
easy. So
Oh, same. Hi. I cry when film editing is good. I just do. I can't help it.
I am
like the cross cutting was so good.
I end up crying crying when like something particularly happy happens in my life. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Emotions,
That
they
was
come out through
one.
your eyes. Is what happens.
eyes are the window to the soul, but fucking tears are the goddamn
Can't
curtains.
believe Angie. I can't believe Angie keeps his soul hidden like that.
Well, there you are. I mean, you've just seen like part of it come out. Like that was probably the most openly emotional he's been for a long time.
Yeah.
Helps that Hope's easy to talk to, huh?
Oh man.
Oh yeah, he's always found it easier to talk to machines.
I wasn't expecting to actually get to show her as a completely conscious entity yet. I was expecting that to take a little longer, but you just went whole hog, so I kind of had to bring the fire too. No, it's fine.
That nat 20 whiz save, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, the power of the
Man,
nat
the
20
rolls today,
compels you.
Oh my.
the rolls today were really kind. I'm very
Yeah.
grateful. Thank you, Lalu. Thanks for
Thank
watching
you,
out.
Lalu.
You're my girl.
Thank you, Lalu.
Okay, I think I just heard someone knock on my door, so we should probably say goodbye to our lovely listeners. Goodbye, listeners!
Goodbye. That was great.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Will.
Yeah.
And